Okay, guys, I was gonna kind of skip this activity and make a video for the next one only. They go together. So U2A6 measure of variability of data part one, and then U2A7 measures of variability of data part two. So, but I'll just make a real quick one here on this. So we'll jump right into the content. So this is the class note. We talk about range, interpercentile range, average deviation from the mean, variance, standard deviation, and coefficient of variation. So a lot of the stuff here is in the next section, and that's the heavy stuff. This other stuff here, if you look at the U2A6 uh, component, like the content, sorry, or the assignment, pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, so here we're finding the mean. The range is the highest to the lowest. Okay, then when we get to a couple other things, interpercentile range. So that's a new term. It sounds fancy. It sounds like interquartile range, and it is. Okay, remember that the interquartile range is the spread of the data from the third quartile to the first quartile. Okay, that measures the middle 50% of the observed values. So we had the 25th percentile and the 75th percentile. That's what this is. Interpercentile range is the exact same sort of thing. It's just you're not going to say necessarily that you have to go from the 75th percentile to the 25th percentile. If I want to get the interquartile range between the 10th percentile and the 90th percentile for whatever reason, um, then I find out what this is. Okay, I go through the whole thing and figure out what the 90th percentile is, and I figure out what the 10th percentile is, and I subtract one value from the other to figure out the range. Okay, so that's all interpercentile ranges. And the only other thing I wanted to point out was this here. If you don't remember what D6 is, okay, so all this stuff here, median, 85th percentile, the first quartile, which is the 25th percentile again, the Q3 is third quartile, 75th percentile, same thing. And then D6, if you forgot what that is, I actually looked at it and went, what's that mean again? That's the decile. Okay, so all that means is, remember back in, I don't know, about U2A2, I think it was, the term decile came up. Nothing fancy about that. It's just taking your data and breaking up into chunks of 10 instead of chunks of 100. So the sixth decile is the 60th percentile. Okay, so we have the first decile is the 10th percentile, second decile is the 20th percentile. So when you do this question, don't do anything special here. Just find out what P60 is. Okay, and that's it. Okay, and again, these are all the same thing. This is P85, this is P60, this is P25, this is P75, this is P50, and then you go through the whole process and figure out what that is, and that's it. At the bottom here, we start to talk about deviation. Okay, a deviation from the mean. That's a good intro to what we're going to do next. It talks about here's the mean. Figure out the mean is 67, and how far is each point from the mean. So this is 70. It is 3 away from the mean of 67. This value is $62. It's 3 away from it's -5 away from the mean of 67. And then if you figure out the total deviation from the mean, okay, so if you add all these up, you get to 0, and you go, well, what's that mean? Well, that really is kind of how you get the mean. Okay, so you take all the different, once you take all the data and divide by the total amount of data, you get the average. And then if you say, well, there's a bunch of points to the left of the average and a bunch of points to the right of the average, and you take all the total differences on the left and all the total differences on the right, okay, positive or negative, and add them together, you get back to 0, because that's how you find the average itself. Okay, so why are we doing this? This part here, it's a lead-in for tomorrow's work, U2A stuff. Okay, and that's it. So you can kind of ignore this a little bit at the end. Just know, and even this stuff, nothing new. Okay, just reinforce what you know, go over it, and that's about it. Take care.